"Sell me this pen" is one of the pitches Jordan Belfort would use to teach his employees at Stratton Oakmont on how to improve their salesmanship skills. As depicted in the movie The Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belfort and his team would engage in copious amounts of fraud by convincing clients to invest in worthless penny stocks, and engaging in this by using huge amounts of exaggeration and false claims of these stocks going tremendously high in the stock market and various other shenanigans. To put it plainly, Jordan Belfort would run pump and dump schemes and fraud people for his own personal gain, monetary. Well, the same is going on in Guatemala right now, except the government is empowering it in order to stay in power. In June 2023, Guatemala held its general elections, in which Bernardo Alvaro came out victorious. However, public prosecutors have questioned the legitimacy of this election, and there have been heated discussions going on over the past couple of months, with on December 8th, the Attorney General's office declaring it as unlegit and illegit and asking for a rerun of the election. So the question stands, should Guatemala rerun its presidential elections? And the answer is an absolute no. Only 3 key reasons. 1, Guatemala's elections were legit. 2, there's been numerous amounts of fraud going on regarding these elections. And 3, the people just don't want a re-election. To begin with, Guatemala's election in June was 100% legit, and the facts are there to prove it. According to December 2023 report from Al Jazeera, Guatemala's Supreme Electoral Tribunal has declared elections results unalterable. Keep in mind, this body was established specifically to uphold the legitimacy of elections. This is basically the highest honor election could receive in Guatemala in order to maintain its legitimacy. Therefore, the results have been confirmed as legit. And there's been secondary backing ups too. According to a report from the Washington Post in August 2023, the Organization of American States has urged Guatemala to respect the election's result and respect democracy and what it stands for, and give the people their voice. This urging comes as Guatemala has experienced a troublesome history of fraudful elections and government fraud. And the upholding of these elections as a real democratic election is key for Guatemala's future. Which brings me to our second point. Guatemala's elections were valid, but there's been numerous amounts of fraud done by the public prosecutors in order to prevent it. And this has been very abundant in the past, and has been confirmed as too. According to a report from Reuters in December 2023, the U.S. has accused in the past public ministry heads Curquiche and Vanera as obstructing and using acts of corruption to further their political careers. And keep in mind, these are the same people that are part of the public prosecution team opposing these elections' legitimacy. Clearly, we can see the power to uphold elections has been placed in the wrong hands. And these people have been basically confirmed of being fraudful in the past. And it's practically paid off, as we can see currently. The U.S. Institute of Peace in December 2023 went as far as to declare this election's handling and questioning as illegit as an attempted coup and the worst breakdown of democracy possible, as the Attorney General's office has raided countless amounts of electoral commissions and stolen 100,000 boxes of votes. Guatemala's elections have had a troublesome past, and we can see that the amount of fraud going on, there's been copious amounts of fraud going on regarding it, just like how Jordan Belfort's firm engaged in fraud just to further their monetary gain, which is what Guatemala's commissions are doing politically. Lastly, it's not just the elections being valid, it's that nobody wants another election. Democracy is established for the people, by the people, and is meant to uphold the people's voice. And the people have very vocally stated that they do not want a rerun of the election. According to an NPR report from December 2023, people have flooded the streets of Guatemala, from Guatemala City to Quetzaltenango, for months now, demonstrating very strongly that they do not want to rerun an election and protesting against this questioning of the election's legitimacy. For once, the people in Guatemala truly do believe in the legitimacy of the Guatemalan elections and are fighting for their right to uphold it and uphold who they want as Guatemala's next leader. And as a democracy, Guatemala is obligated to respect the people's voice. And it's not just the people. Internationally, it's been the same response. According to a report done by the Associated Press in December 2023, numerous bodies like the United Nations High Commission on Human Rights, the United States government, the European Union, and etc., multiple bodies have strongly condemned this questioning of the Guatemalan election results and have urged Guatemala to uphold these elections results as legit. So opposing the rerun of the election. And clearly, overall, we can see that Guatemala's questioning of the election results and a possible rerun of election should be strongly opposed with a resounding no, owing to 3 reasons. 1, Guatemala's elections were indeed valid. 2, Guatemala's government has been empowering numerous amounts of fraud regarding these elections in the past and present. And 3, nobody wants a rerun of this election. Jordan Belfort and his team used insane amounts of fraud to help further engage in increase their monetary gains and their personal benefits. However, eventually the FBI and investors could see through the fake wall that they have created of just exaggeration and fake news regarding the stock market, and they acted on it. In a similar way, the Guatemalan people and internationally, everybody has seen the fake wall that Guatemalan government has put up to remain in power and to fraud these elections. And it's time that the people break down that wall and stand up for what is right. Thank you.